Welcome back everybody into another study session. We're going to continue from the last one, and this is number 171. So just to remind you, we're going to have a look at this screenshot with an analyzer setup, but most importantly, what is really crucial for me is to understand the market structure and understand if during the live trading I could have had a single bias, a one directional bias, if that bias was in trend, or maybe I'm missing other opportunities or whatever. So that's what we are studying here. So even though this setup is over here, I'm not going to simply look at it as like, okay, this is here, failure to break, and then that's a clear sign to go bearish. No, because it doesn't really matter if then live I am seeing this price action as possibly bullish after bouncing from this level. So I'm looking for the breaker retest of this level to continue buy. So that's why I want to analyze and have a look at the overall market structure. So let's start, and we are seeing from the left hand side, we can already see that the price during the pre-New York hours is a sort of consolidation. We don't know what is happening on the left hand side, but we can see that yeah, we can be breaking below this area, but we don't know if immediately before this we were in a bullish bias or in a bearish bias. So far there is no bias yet. What we can see and try to have a look at is that, okay, we have this PSA, these PSAs and these lows. So we want to have a look and understand better what is actually happening. So since the price action here is not coming from any relevant PSA, any key level like 2020 or any 4-hour PSA, I'm not looking for a break and retest of this level for the continuation bullish, especially because I'm looking for 30 pips, and 30 pips from 2023 would be up to this level. And so yeah, I would be looking more importantly for a break and retest of these previous highs for the continuation bullish, especially if the price action on the left hand side is coming from a bullish trend. So far we don't have any trend. We are coming into from a consolidation period. So what we see first is that we have this rejection point at the PPL 2025, and we are seeing a strong rejection. We're seeing a possible bounce, we're seeing then a deeper pullback, and we're seeing this price action at 2022.5, this rejection and this double bottom. So at this stage, we still have these previous highs that we want to be broken for possible buys. Otherwise, we are still in a consolidation and we want to see a clear price action. Here, for example, we can see that it's doing volume time. We are seeing bullish, a bullish movement. So it's a bullish momentum coming from these lows with this retest, and then we are seeing the breakout of this candle, but we see no retest. So far there is no retest. So actually no entry, because I will be looking for a bearish candle to close at this level before the continuation bullish. And then above 2026.25, I will still want a retest of these previous lows for the price to continue bullish. As you can see here, the volume is quite low. It's a Monday, and we are seeing some sort of market structure forming over here, especially considering that we are almost at these previous highs, with a possible bullish trade to be taken over here, but price failing to break above. So this, if I had to take this trade in anticipation of the continuation bullish, that would be a loss. But let's move on. Even seeing if okay, maybe we took a loss and it's fine. What we are seeing from the price action is now this. What price action level, what level of the market structure we want to see respected in order to keep the bullish momentum and the bullish bias. For example, I would love to see this previous higher low to be respected, maybe this one, and then this one, and the last one is this one. So I'm not saying to keep buying, because especially if you also have like a sort of a rule of thumb that you're not buying with this price action, I mean, and after here it's fine because we are still in a very bullish momentum. The entry is not at any relevant PSA, but yes, it is possible bows, even though I don't like it. During this time, I don't really suggest any buying because look at the size and the frequency of the bearish candles. So even at this candle retesting this previous VPL, still we are too counter trend to enter. I mean, there is no reason, there is no sign of a bullish momentum coming back into the charts. So I would love to see a retest and then a breakout, a retest and then a continuation bullish before jumping back into buys, or even better, after the confirmation of this momentum, a break and retest of these previous highs again. That would be the safest entry. But what we are seeing is that this price action is so strong that I really don't want to take any buy, because it looks like it doesn't make any sense due to the such an aggressive price action and the fact that it's not coming at any strong relevant PSA. It's just coming at a regular PPL. So what we see is that we start to see a clear shift in market structure, because we are now confirming that the price broke below two previous lower highs. We also have a very quick retest of the level and also the retest of this previous candle for possible continuation. This is a very high risk, high reward entry. Of previous higher low. And that will be this one. And that's a break and retest. Entry will be at this candle, at this bullish candle closing at the previous one. As you can see, the candle is closing over here, and that's a possible entry. Continuation bearish. After that, we are seeing actually confirmation that the price action is moving. Okay, is moving bearish, is making new lower lows. Yes, there's not that much of volume in the new 4 hour and waiting for New York Stock Exchange. What we're seeing is that first we have an attempt to break below this is the main low, higher low. And then after New York Stock Exchange open, we have a pullback and a failure to break above. So the best entry, of course, would be here, because we are retesting the highs of this order block, but also an entry, a reasonable entry, when we don't have any time machine, can possibly be this bullish candle failing to break, and we have the rejection. An entry over here would be 2022. This one would be 2023. Would be 10 pips stop loss. Drawdown. But probably your stop loss will be above over there with 15 pips. Yes, a little bit of drawdown, but then the price action will give you reason. You have, so it's still after open. It's over there, and then what you see is that, okay, do I have the confirmation that the sellers are back into control, as I would love to? Yes. Look at the size and these candles, how big and frequent they are coming, and they aggressively break out, like 4 minutes, 4 candles, and break below the last lower low, which is now officially the last lower low. They retest this level, and that's where you have your confirmation for a possible continuation entry over here. So this entry would be at 2021.25, so the TP would be 2018.25, and you see that it would be it for 30 pips. So as a quick scalp, that would still be the best idea with the most confirmation, and this one, of course, would be another very good entry. This would be safer entry below lower low. So that's basically the story of this price action. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see the next one. So this one was the one that we were just talking about. As you can see here, this was the last lower high, and we made a new very recent lower low. So we are bearish up until we have broken this PSA. We could have taken an aggressive entry over there at the retest of these previous lows, but anyway, that's a very good point to see. Okay, after this bounce here, how many bearish candles are we seeing? I'm only seeing multiple, bigger, more frequent bullish candles. Yes, the price action might easily go like this and then immediately stop and then give you the reversal. It happens, and it happens a lot. What I would love to see, to avoid the fake outs and avoid taking sells here, and simply take losses, I want to see a candle confirmation, candle, possibly a retest, or maybe break above, then retest and close below. And then I would love to see the break below the PPL, a retest, and then the continuation. I will enter over there. And so yeah, it's such a bullish uptrend. I would not love to enter sells, so that we are lucky in this case. We don't miss any move, and we are seeing a strong breakout. When we see a strong breakout that is breaking the last, this was the last lower high. This is the last lower low. We are breaking out, we are making a new higher high. And that's safe entry in anticipation, new higher low, which will be this candle close at this strong PSA. As you can see, then the price would quite a lot range. There's not a lot of volume, and for like an hour or so, it will take 2023. It will take 1 hour to go to your TP, but still, once you leave it, just let it go, and then you're seeing that the price action is actually showing you a wedge against this level, and that's why you have a breakout, and that's why you can take your 30 pips scalp. It could even go, if you're just leaving there running, because I mean you have your stop loss. Your stop loss is never, you're never in drawdown, not a single minute of this whole move, and then it goes to your TP, even if that was a 3-to-1 TP. And okay. Okay, let's move on. Let's see the next one. And the next one is, I think, yeah, it's the next day, is a Tuesday. And that's a very high risk, high reward entry. And I already know what will happen later on. So I know that we will have further entries after that. And I know that I charted up because after seeing this rejection, that was my trade idea. So, okay, maybe it looks like, yeah, I was looking at it in this way. That's why I charted up. So as you can see here, we are in a clear bullish uptrend, breaking up, retesting the key level, making its way up, retesting this previous PSA, breaking out, and then finally finding some sort of exhaustion from buyers and coming into a over here, coming into a consolidation. Even the consolidation is not really a consolidation because we are seeing some bearish pressure. So if you are really high risk, high reward, you are seeing that you are actually breaking below your PSA and stay below your relevant PSA, it's a key level. Now it's a 4-hour PSA, and you're staying there multiple times. That will be your first high risk, high reward entry. And that's mainly inside, so I don't really want even to talk about it, especially because if you look on the left hand side, where are you reacting from? You are reacting at these previous highs. So we are tapping into the last, this was a higher high and higher lows. This was the last higher high before the new one. So it's still a relevant PSA, because up until this one is broken, the price can still continue to push up. Then remember, you have this PSA on the left hand side, and we have these lows which are matching the wait, this one, yes, and this is the key level 2028. There you go. That's where we can expect some reactions. So when do we start to see a possible shift in bias? I love to see it, as I just told you, because I want to see the bearish pressure coming back into the chart. So we see this breakout on the downside. Yes, we have a bounce from the last higher low, and that's a 10, 15, 20 pips scalp, but we are seeing an increasing pressure on the bearish side. So that's why I highlighted, because we are seeing now the retest exactly basically up to the 4-hour PSA, and that will be our first entry in anticipation of the continuation, because the price made a new lower low, breaking below this previous PSA, and that's still high risk, high reward entry, because we are just bouncing from the previous higher low, so still very risky. The only safe entry would be below 2028. So let's move on and let's see what happened next, because I know that we have it. So exactly like this, you see that the after price reacted over there, made a new lower low. So we are now in a definite bearish downtrend. We're making lower highs and lower lows. Alexa, para. So what we are expecting is we are expecting a new lower high to be created. So that's why I placed this tool, of course, the retracement tool, and you can see that at 61.8 and also matching this previous PSA on the left hand side. That's where we had the rejection. So safe entry, anticipation of a new lower high being created. It doesn't really matter. And that's then you see that even though with lower volume, we are still going to 30 pips TP. And we are in trend, we are in a bearish bias, so that's nothing special. Simply is about betting on the continuation of the trend rather than on the reversals. Because even though, yes, we are reacting at 2028, which was our previous higher low, we are in a very strong, I mean, the momentum is very good, and we are taking sells in a momentum where, in a period where there are a lot of bearish candles. After that, we see the continuation. Yes, we see some sort of, and that's what put me off doing live trading. We see some sort of mess at this level, because 2028 is a key level. It was relevant right before that, but still we're still in a very bearish trend, and we can see that the price is now reacting to this PPL where we had some quite a few reactions. So we are reacting at this PPL, we had this area, these reactions, all these candles close over there, and when we are seeing the candle slowing down over here, that could be a possible high risk, high reward entry. High risk, high reward because we are still above the key level. As you can see here, you have also candle confirmation. I don't really like all these bullish candles to enter, because there is no volume, there's no volatility in the chart, so it's quite messy. But for example, we're going to see that later. Look at now, if I'm just patient and I wait for a clean, let me place it bigger. I wait for a clean breakout. Now we have it. We are breaking below the key level. We are breaking below these previous highs, and we are then retesting exactly the PPL. This entry, I think that is very, very good. Volume back in the chart, break below key level, break below previous low. That's PPL and PSA. So that's basically the safest possible entry, even though we will see that, yeah, that's the safest possible entry in a very strong bearish downtrend. Tack, tack, and there you go. Yeah, that's quite easy to see, like this. Okay, we can retest, and that's the possible entry. So that's another one. Now we are in a little bit of a messy. I already talked about this because I took a couple of trades. So I took the first trade was over here on the buy side with TP over there, and then I took a second trade exactly over there. Price went to 30.2 pips, but it didn't trigger my TP, and then I managed to take a loss over there. As you can see, I was still reviewing it. I was still looking at the best possible entry. As you can see, price is making higher highs and higher lows, and we are still in this bullish price action because we had just made a new higher high. We retested the previous PSA, and we now made a new higher high. Now it's quite tricky, but when we see the rejection coming down, so I got stopped out. I didn't immediately say, okay, where is the price reacting? I was a little bit confused. And as you can see, looking at the retracement of the overall bullish move from the last higher low, that's where you can see that the price retraced exactly to 75%, not matching any relevant PSA, but still 75% retracement and continuation bullish. What I think is that instead of this one, the best entry, which actually makes sense during live trade, because now this, where is the reacting? Anywhere. It's just not a PPL, nothing. As I told you, we have this price action that I actually like, and it's the candle closing above the key level, closing above this previous PSA, so confirming that the momentum and volume is back into the charts. We have this bearish candle retesting it, and then we have another one engulfing it. And candle entry either over here or at this candle close for the possible continuation bullish with the momentum after seeing the rejection 75. This will not be to TP, but probably the price will continue because we just made a new higher high. Yeah, this one was the breakout before that, and I don't know if then price will continue over there. It's not really relevant. Again, very strong bearish momentum. It's nothing that you can't really, you can't not see. Multiple rejection of this level, and the entry over there would have been great. Okay. So as you can see here, we are in a very strong bullish trend, and we are mainly looking at the then the retest, because we are seeing here, for example, as we are coming into New York Stock Exchange opening, we are breaking below this level. This is the last lower low, and we are breaking below with decision, with momentum, and we are retesting it on the dot. So this entry over here is actually the best entry in continuation of the trend, and yada yada yada. And this will go to 2036. Yeah, we'll go to 40 pips pretty easily. And yeah, the main thing about this setup is that we're now retesting these previous highs. That was the last lower high. I mean, that was really relevant. We don't have any possible confirmation of entering over here. These are very relevant PSA that also on the left hand side, and we have a strong rejection with a single candle. Also the very good one is this one. You can see that the price is giving you the retest, showing you that possibly we are breaking above, but no, since we are in a very bearish trend, sellers are coming back into control of the chart and the price, and then we're pushing back. Let's see if we have another possible entry, for example over here. So we see this whole price action, and we have now reconfirmed that the price is pulling back, and then continuation. We have this breaker retest of this low 2035. Let's see if it goes at least to 2032. In the next one it will go to 2033. So in this case, it will only be a quick scalp and not really a viable idea. Now, when are we sure about the end of this movement? We have 3 minutes, 3 candles failing to make a new low and then closing above the key level. So now we are closing above all this PSA, and that's a possible very high risk, high reward entry on the bullish side. And I remember that I charted in over here because that's something that I saw, sort of part of intuition, seeing the momentum coming back after tapping this previous PSA, as seeing a double bottom over here, and that's where I saw the possible switch and shift in market structure at this low. After that, what we would love to see is a break and retest of these previous highs for then the continuation bullish. I don't know if then it will happen, but let's see if it also continues bullish. We don't have it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. We're going to see the next setups probably tomorrow.